Abby, and we're going to go on a voyage through our solar system. So, what we want you guys to do is try and name all the planets in order. How many can you name? Grab a piece of paper and number off from 1 to 9, and start with the sun, and then name the 8 planets after that. And if you can list them in order, that would be amazing. In order, starting with the sun, the planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. As we go on our voyage through our solar system, ask yourself if you would want to live on any of these planets. So the first thing you need to go on this voyage through our solar system is your passport. Please use the link attached to our video to print off a pre-made printable passport. But if you want to make your own handmade passport, here's a demonstration on how to do that. The materials you're going to need for this passport are one piece of paper, this can be any color of paper, a writing utensil, this can be a pencil or a pen, and then coloring utensils, this can be markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you want to use to color with. And so the first thing you're going to want to do is divide your paper into 4 squares. The next thing you want to do is write the word passport in the upper left-hand square, and then write the words voyage through our solar system. And still in the upper left-hand square, you can write this passport belongs to, and then draw a line, and then sign your name right on that line. The next thing you want to do is divide each of the leftover 3 squares into 3 sections, just like it shows right on here. And then you're going to want to number each of those squares from 1 to 9. And as we talk about each of the planets and the sun, you're welcome to color and draw what each planet looks like. And you're welcome to take notes on the side as well to remember facts and interesting facts that you like about each of the planets. And don't forget, at the end, we will ask you which planet you would like to live on. Here we go on our voyage through the solar system. Our first stop is the sun. The sun is actually a main sequence star that is known as a yellow dwarf. It is almost a perfect circle and is mainly made up of hydrogen and helium. The sun is about 300,000 times bigger than our Earth, and it's about 9,000 degrees. Now that's hot. The sun is a vital ingredient for most of life on Earth. Light from the sun actually takes about 8 minutes to reach Earth. Isn't that interesting? Also, this year in 2020, a detailed image of the surface of the sun was actually discovered.
Hello, my name is Hannah. I will be talking about Mercury. As you can see, Mercury is about 43 million miles from the Sun, making it the first planet closest to the Sun. Now that Pluto is no longer classified as a planet, Mercury is the smallest planet in the solar system. This planet has a rocky surface and an iron core. The iron core in Mercury is very large compared to other rocky planets like Earth and Mars. This makes Mercury's mass very high compared to its size. Mercury is a barren planet covered with craters from impacts of asteroids and other objects. It looks very similar to Earth's moon. Mercury has virtually no atmosphere and rotates very slowly in relationship to the Sun. A single day on this planet is as long as almost 60 Earth days. As a result of its long day and little atmosphere, Mercury has some wild extremes in temperature. The side facing the Sun is incredibly hot, while the side away from the Sun is super cold. There is evidence that the planet Mercury has been known since 3000 BC by civilizations such as the Sumerians and Babylonians. Galileo was the first to observe Mercury by telescope in the early 1600s. Several other astronomers since then have added to our knowledge about the planet. Since Mercury is close to the Sun, it is very difficult to send a spacecraft to explore the planet. The gravity from the Sun is constantly pulling on the spacecraft, causing the ship to need lots of fuel in order to stop or slow down at Mercury. There have been 2 space probes sent there. The first was Mariner 10 in 1975. Mariner 10 brought us the first close-up pictures of Mercury and discovered that the planet had a magnetic field. The second space probe was Messenger. Messenger orbited Mercury between 2011 and 2015 before crashing onto the surface of Mercury on April 30th, 2015. The next planet I will be talking about is 66 million miles from the Sun, and that is Venus. Venus is thought to be made up of a central iron core, rocky mantle, and silicate crust. This planet can be described with 2 words, cloudy and hot. The entire surface of Venus is constantly covered by clouds. These clouds are made up of mostly carbon dioxide, which has a greenhouse effect, keeping in the sun's heat like a giant blanket. As a result, Venus is the hottest planet in our solar system. It is even hotter than Mercury, which is much closer to the Sun. Venus is a terrestrial planet like Mercury, Earth, and Mars. This means it has a hard, rocky surface. Its geography is somewhat like Earth's geography, with mountains, valleys, and plateaus, and volcanoes. It is completely dry, however, it has long rivers of molten lava and thousands of volcanoes. There are over 100 giant volcanoes on Venus that are each 100 kilometers or more across. Our next planet is Earth, which is almost 93 million miles from the Sun, making it the 3rd planet in order from the Sun. The Earth was once believed to be the center of the universe. Earth has a hard rocky surface. The composition of this planet is similar to other terrestrial planets, in that it has an iron core which is surrounded by a molten mantle, which, in turn, is surrounded by an outer crust, which we live on top of. There are many things that make Earth unique among the solar system's planets. First, Earth is the only planet that we know of that contains life. Not only does Earth contain life, but it supports millions of different forms of life. Another difference is that the Earth is mostly covered with water. Around 71% of the Earth is covered with saltwater oceans. Earth is the only planet that has water in liquid form on its surface. Also, the Earth's atmosphere is made up of mostly nitrogen and oxygen, while Venus and Mars' atmospheres are made up of mostly carbon dioxide.
Hi, my name is Kyler Hall. Mars is 135 million miles from the Sun. The diameter is 4,212 miles across. The mass is 6.41 times 10 to the 23rd kilogram. Mars has 2 moons. One is Phobos and the other Deimos. The orbit distance is 141 million miles across. The orbit period is 607 Earth days. The surface temperature is negative 81 degrees Fahrenheit. And a long time ago, Mars was covered in water. Next up is Jupiter. Jupiter is 482 million miles from the Sun. The diameter is 88,000 miles across. The mass is 1.8 times 10 to the 27 kilogram. Jupiter has 53 confirmed moons with 26 still waiting confirmation. The orbit distance is 483 million miles, and the orbit period is 4,333 Earth days. The surface temperature is negative 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Fun fact is Jupiter does not have a surface. It is made of gases and liquids. Saturn is 931 million miles from the Sun. The diameter is 72,000 miles. The mass is 5.68 times 10 to the 26 kilogram. Saturn has 53 confirmed moons with 29 awaiting confirmation. The orbit distance is 886 million miles. The orbit period is 10,000 759 Earth days. The surface temperature is negative 220 degrees Fahrenheit. And fun fact about Saturn, its rings extend 175,000 miles from the surface and is made up of comets, asteroids, and shattered moons.
Uranus is about 15 times bigger than Earth. It has 27 moons and 13 rings. Uranus is the coldest planet in our solar system, having a surface temperature of about negative 300 degrees. This planet is known as an ice gas giant planet. The upper layer is hydrogen and helium. The icy mantle is a rock and ice core, and the atmosphere is made up of water, ammonia, and methane ice crystals that give the planet its pale blue color. Would you like to live on a planet where you are cold and wouldn't have to sweat at all? Neptune is one planet that you cannot see with your human eye. You would need a telescope or binoculars to see it. It has a little bit darker blue atmosphere than Uranus. It is about 17 times bigger than Earth. It has 14 moons and 5 rings. Neptune also has a very cold surface temperature of about negative 300 degrees, so it is another cold planet.
After traveling through space with us and exploring each planet, you've seen their similarities and differences, as well as learned new and exciting things about all 9 planets and the Sun. Now consider each planet. If you could travel to and live on any planet, which planet would you prefer to live on, and why? And also, if you got offered a space traveling job for the rest of your life, would you take it?